Well, Mike was going 35 miles an hour. We are currently going 0. That's right. Some of these roads in the Miami Valley are actually closed. Right now I'm on West Dorothy Lane in Moraine, and you can see behind me, this road is actually shut down. Back out here live, if we can actually get a picture of that, you can see these volunteers driving away, and there you have it. I mean, they were here for about 4 or 5 minutes. It's really a quick effort, and on this particular street, they did not find anyone.
Oh, Clancy is here with me this time, of course, and we had a little trouble, I will say, finding.
Oh, and when you say
we,
you mean you. Rachel dragged us to. Do you want to see the Grand Hill we're at right now? Let me show you. So we're going to slide down this huge, monstrous Mount Everest-like hill. First of all, you can kind of see we're on a hill. You can see it's not straight, and then on top of that, it was so muddy out here. And to show you how muddy it is, you can actually just take a look at my shoes. Good morning, Megan. Well, it's been 9 degrees all morning. Snow's starting to come down, but you know what? I actually feel like I'm on a tropical island right now. I'm not even kidding. Am I getting a tan? I mean, truly, it's been a game changer. And do you want to know really what caused it? Well, take a look right there. We are now at 10 degrees. That 1 degree really made all the difference. Our news van actually got stuck. I mean, we just could not gain traction. We were not the only one. There were about 6 or 7 other cars. One of them, we were actually trying to help out. Actually, a couple of them. These conditions are just so bad. And right now we want to talk with Sergeant Ken Lloyd. And, you know, my first question, have you ever seen anything like this?
Not in a very long time. This is a really bad snowstorm this morning.
I mean, and for people who are thinking about leaving their houses, if they have places to be, like, what would you say? So say you're driving in a 40-mile-per-hour speed zone, and then you come across one of these things. Speed limit 35 miles an hour. What do you do? When do you slow down? Is it right before the sign? Or maybe it's right after the sign, or quite possibly right at the sign? Well, Northmont High School student Julia Presley didn't know the answer to that, and that resulted in her not only getting pulled over by a cop, but ultimately getting her license restricted. And she felt that if she had a little bit more time behind the wheel, that never would have happened. Megan, what's up with that laugh? There are no excuses, because if you think, you know what, I don't own a bike, I can't do it, well, guess what? You don't have to, thanks to the Link bike system. Megan, I can already see this is going to be great for you. You just hop right on, so easy, and most importantly, so affordable. $65 for an annual membership? I think yes.
Joins us now with the significance behind this change and why this has been such a long time coming.
Well, today's an interesting day because on the one hand, I'm appalled that it's Valentine's Day and Elise isn't wearing red.
Hey, I have pink earrings on.
But on the other hand, it's exciting because the first things first, we walk over here, we can already tell I'm doing something wrong. What am I doing? Hands in the pockets. That's not good because if you do fall, what is going to break that fall? Another thing, when you're walking and you slip on ice, 9 times out of 10, you are going to slip backwards. So if you do, we're gonna, you know, go big or go home. You fall back. Remember to tuck that chin in. Natalie, this is between East 3rd and East 5th Streets, and you can see it right there. Speed limit 35 miles an hour, photo enforced. And if you were caught going above that, then you are going to have to pay because of that camera back there. Good morning, Megan. Well, it is cold, and not only are we dealing with that, but we are dealing with all of this. Just piles of snow everywhere, flurries coming in. I mean, winter wonderland, I don't know about that when it's feeling this cold. So it is important, you know, what to do not to fall off that mound and also what to do to stay warm. Nathan, we know Right Pat is the largest employer in the Miami Valley, but sometimes you don't realize it until you see it. I'm standing outside one of the entrances to Right Pat right now on Springfield Street, and take a look at the steady stream of cars just waiting to get in. I mean, literally, I want to say this goes back more than a mile, and it has been like this for more than 2 hours. And it's not only here. If we come back this way, you can see that there is another line of cars just waiting to get in on the other side. So clearly, this will impact so many people who are going into work today not knowing whether or not they'll be sent home. Well, did you know that drinking water and staying hydrated is one way to keep warm? I decided to... Oh, look at that. So I guess this is how it's going to be. I'm not sure if eating ice works the same way. Don't really think that's the way it works. Well, Elise, right now we have a problem. I mean, I'm sitting here in Starbucks, but look at this. There's no drink, nothing here. I got here and I'm just so confused. Harry Potter, secret menu. How does it all work? Well, that's why we have Jeremy Oliver over here who's going to answer a couple questions. Coming up, I'll tell you how the 3-state feud, that's right, 3 states, makes this bill that much more important.
Most people don't believe in love at first sight, but I think I loved him from the second I met him.
Love at first sight?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Definitely. I don't know how else to describe that first kiss.
And it all started with a tweet. Rachel and Dan were strangers until one day he messaged her on Twitter.
People are less scared behind a screen. Like, I think it gives people the courage to initiate conversation.
6 days later, they met in person.
Heart racing, real nervous.
And 5 years later, they're happily married.
I just knew, there was no doubt in my mind that I just wanted to be with him.
And to think, it all started with a tweet. But for most people, this is nothing new.
You can't just go outside and meet people. It's almost more of a stigma to meet someone as a stranger than meeting them online.
So the bars where people used to meet?
I don't think that's really the way the world works anymore. I don't think that people really meet up in bars anymore.
Welcome to the world of online dating. With thousands of sites to choose from, you've got options from the more traditional eHarmony and Match.com to niche sites, which include everything from one just for sea captains to clowndating.com. And then there's Tinder. It's an app you use on your phone. Swipe right if you like what you see, swipe left if you don't. But the problem is, as you're swiping away, you don't really know who's behind that screen.
I could be talking to one person and somebody else shows up.
Bill Parsons is a retired police officer and says the risk isn't worth the reward.
Almost anybody can put on a social face long enough to deceive us. And if we're talking to somebody who's really dangerous, a sociopath, they can be incredibly charming.
One of the biggest red flags is wanting to move too quickly.
If they start using language like this is fated and destiny and those kinds of things, those are really high danger signs.
Others include talk about money, refusing to speak on the phone, and incorrect grammar, which means the person probably isn't in the country. But safe or not, what if online dating just isn't for you?
There's no real matching happening. It's just kind of like, here's everybody, go.
Well, that's where Abby Glendenning comes in, the Miami Valley matchmaker.
I offer these events in person that apps just don't offer.
Last September, she created Gem City Dating.
My main two services that get the most attention is the singles mixers and the speed dating.
Her site allows singles to find each other in the Miami Valley and meet in person.
I think the best way to find the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with is kind of going out of your comfort zone.
And in the year 2018, that could mean swiping, clicking, or yes, even tweeting away.
I've thought about what if Twitter just didn't exist and I never would have met him? I'm like, oh no, I don't want to think about my life without him.